Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd doing short takes to run Christmas week 2013. And let's see some photos from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Well, this is the National Cemetery Wreath Day. It was earlier in December. And you see we had the snow, lots of it, and not the worst of it, or maybe nobody would have been there, but anyhow, a lot of people showed up on a cold, windy 15th, I believe, of December, and to place wreaths at the graves of the soldiers going back all the way to the American Civil War. In fact, I remember there are a couple of people who died at that time who had fought maybe in the Revolutionary War. Shows you a list of the gifts and guests and speakers like Ruth Stone Cipher. She was a speaker for American Gold Star Mothers Incorporated. And of course Mayor Jordan was there and helped put out wreaths and a bunch of officials. But the public for this kind of event mostly, I think, are either veterans themselves or they're the family members of veterans. And a high percentage are family members of veterans who are buried in the Fayetteville National Cemetery. So in the background you can see buildings in just every direction from there. Many of them are buildings that were not there last year or 2 years ago. That's the student apartments next to the National Cemetery. There, a lady whose first name is Janie, and she's giving a check donated. It's on an RBS check, but I'm not sure who all donated to it. But anyway, RNCIC, Regional National Cemetery Improvement Corporation president, was accepting that check. That's Ron Butler. Now we see the Wreaths Across America Walmart truck, and this is one of the good things Walmart does for our society, is support this kind of event. But I wish they'd bought that sale barn land and those apartments weren't there, and that we would have no need now except to raise money to help if they didn't pay for all of it or something. But we wouldn't be raising money desperately to expand the cemetery as we continue to lose older veterans and also young people coming back from the Middle East and other places where they're injured or killed on duty for the American military. And those kids are being lectured on the importance of the cemetery and this program and so forth by the gentleman that was with those small children. Now you can see that all kinds of groups, combat vets that support other veterans and wounded veterans. And yeah, there's the kids in the van, kneel down there talking to them or squatting. And here's a different jacket for a different group. A lot of these guys are motorcyclists, and there are motorcycle groups that raise money for the Regional National Cemetery Improvement Corporation and for other veterans' needs, and they're very important. You didn't see a lot of smiles. Partly it was a serious event, but main thing, it was brutally cold out there that day, and we're still having days like that as we speak today. And that's Ron Butler with the yellow symbol on the back, and the vice president of the group in front of him. Now those people have scattered out from various corners after the end of the speeches and all that, and they're actually putting out wreaths. So just all those people there, must have been half of them or something actually participated in the wreath presentations like this, because it was done within I know less than 2 hours, hour and a half or something. I was back over there and it was done. And I didn't participate in that because I had a couple of other obligations that I had to go and do some more photos. And so it was really inspiring to see that many people come out in that miserable weather where I could hardly hold my hands up with a camera. There was Mayor Jordan. He had been to 3 different events that day by the time I made that picture. He had been to the Yvonne Richardson Center before he came to the National Cemetery for something going on there, South Fayetteville. And then now we're looking north on Government Avenue, and you can see Reese place there. This is later. And so it's an important activity. Maybe it's just a feel-good activity, but it reminds us of what's people who sacrifice for freedom and whatever benefits we get from winning a war. Till next time, do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. Support your veterans. Bye. I am Aubrey Shepherd, and we're doing short takes, actually recording in mid-December 2013. And there is a event where the Northwest Arkansas Master Naturalists were having one of their semi-annual meetings, and they had brought food to share with one another, and it was wonderful. Like a lot of nonprofit groups, they have leaned toward vegetarian, but they sure had some great barbecued meat there, and that's their logo. They do all kinds of projects, trail building, feeding birds. Like those are things at the center where it was held. That's the county extension office. There are some of the people being honored. Master Naturalists have some membership fees that are reasonably significant to start with, but they're less by year to year. But the volunteer work people do, notice 250 hours there, those guys had done. Well, not only that, they got, see, that's 500 hours of volunteer service, and you can see maybe they're looking a little tired from all that work. There's 2 men with 1,000 plus hour certificates. So they don't give out certificates very often, but when they do, once or twice a year, they do some of this. And boy, you got to realize, I mean, Lauren Hawkins did the first year she was a member, she was still doing a great many hours. She said she hasn't done as many hours. There she is in red, and Nan Lawler at right, and that's Gary Culp, who's the outgoing president of Northwest Arkansas Master Naturalist, but he's also part of the Regional National Cemetery Improvement Corporation for the past year. And he's got lots of good ideas on how to plan for the future and get things done. And he certainly is happy to be a leader among people that are wanting so much to do the right thing, whether it's for veterans or whether it's for the environment. And you can see the Illinois River Watershed Partnership honored the Master Naturalist with a Golden Paddle Award. It's not really gold, but you know. Anyway, this Carolyn Hartman was not able to be there. She was on a family trip of some kind, so she will now find out, if she hasn't already, maybe if she watches public TV, she might find out that she's the winner for the year. And so that's the kind of way those certificates look. Those didn't have the names on there. I mean, people though, like you see Sally Ann Brown listed there is really a mover and shaker with getting things done for the environment in Northwest Arkansas in several different ways, including with that group, Master Naturalist. And they talk about native plants, all the same ones that I do, I guess, and they teach about these things, and they have field trips and classroom activities, and they go to historical sites to get people who have maybe lived here all their lives familiar with some familiar things, but also to get a little deeper view. This is the schedule for 2014. They'll meet at Northwest Arkansas Community College, at Hobbs State Park on Beaver Lake, Carroll Electric Building in Huntsville, some other places. Well, the Ozark Natural Science Center, dining room and classroom and so forth. So they're going to be out touring things and getting to hear experts, and some of them are also doing expert testimony on various subjects in the process. So it's all about reaching out, community outreach to the streams and the groups of other interested people. And you see the Searles Prairie Natural Area. That's a place in Rogers that's much like the west side of World Peace Wetland Prairie, where you have Pinnacle Wet Prairie in South Fayetteville. Smaller, but very significant as an urban prairie. Butterfly gardening. Butterflies don't eat nuts, so they don't care about nutshells, but people seem to like that description of a short version of anything. And so here's telling you what to plant for your butterflies, and both as host plants and nectar plants. And of course, there you have little handouts and things. Anyway, Master Naturalist is just something you might be interested in, because it is, you don't have to be a newcomer, but if you are, it's a great one to look into. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, air pure, and the woods green. Merry Christmas.